So we wanted to make a video for you guys today, kind of answering a lot of questions that we get about why van life, why it works for us individually, why it works for us as a couple, and just why we love it. So we've actually been living in our van for a little over 5 months now, and it feels like a lot longer than that. I don't know why, but it feels like longer than that. We love van life.
We love to explore, we love the ability to travel and the freedom that comes with van life. We also love the opportunity to get to meet new people, to see friends and family on the road, but also to meet people that we never would have met without having lived this van lifestyle, making connections with people just kind of randomly who turn out to become lifelong friends.
It also helps us to save money and live richer is really the way that I like to describe it. So rather than like wasting money on rent and utilities, we can pay for our van life and it's not nearly as expensive as living in a house. The money is going into activities and cuisines and just different adventures that we normally wouldn't be able to afford, or if we were able to afford it, we'd be spending a lot more money on a monthly basis.
Yeah. Another main reason we initially decided to move into this van is because it forces you out of a sedentary lifestyle. It forces you to really adventure.
Being trapped in, 80 square feet or whatever our van ends up being.
People are always asking us, how can you live in such a small space? And our answer is, we don't really live in the van. We live outside the van and in nature.
Yeah.
Which is one of the main reasons we thought van life was for us.
And it's really interesting because a lot of people don't think that this is like a lifestyle or that this is the way that we live. A lot of our friends and family refer to it as your trip. Well, when you get back from your trip, when you go on your trip, they just kind of haven't understood that this is really like a way of life, and we're not doing this for like a couple weeks or a couple months. This is our lifestyle now.
I think van life means something different to each of us individually. And we both came to this idea of van life for very different reasons.
I've realized that in life, you tend to fall into these routines. You get a house, you get a certain group of friends, you get a regular job. Next thing you know, you're doing the same things over and over again, rarely finding any change. With van life, it really gives you the opportunity to get out there, experience a different place every day, meet new people all the time. Your job is constantly moving and evolving. If you would have asked me 10 years ago if I thought I'd be living in a van and be liking it, I probably would have told you absolutely not and would have thought you were crazy. But I've come to find that living in a van is one of the single most best decisions I've ever made to improve my quality of life. Living a nomadic lifestyle where you get to explore, you get to adventure, you get to do different types of things with different people in different places every single day.
I've done a lot of traveling my whole life. I've lived abroad. I really enjoy immersing myself into new languages and new cultures. Even though I've driven across the country before, I've never really taken time to explore the little towns and cities that make up America. And living in a van has really given us the opportunity to dig a little deeper into those communities and understand the culture and even the subcultures of what makes those towns unique and why they are the way they are. Before moving into this van, I worked long hours in a corporate setting in an office. It was a stable lifestyle, but I wasn't able to take off the time to go explore or adventure the way I want to. Even if you're able to take off a week or two at a time, that's not really enough to understand what makes an area the way it is, or really find the hidden gems that make an area special.
So I grew up as a Boy Scout. A lot of people don't know this. Allie likes to prey on that and make jokes about it all the time. But one of the mottos of being a Boy Scout is to always be prepared. And that's not something that I always lived by, but you really don't have a choice than to always be prepared when you live in a van, because pretty much everything you own is with you all the time. And that really helps us because we've been stuck in a couple sticky situations, whether it's us that was in trouble or people that we were with, And I've usually got the tool or the contraption to help that person in that situation.
That being said, we're forced into being very intentional about what we actually take with us on the road. So it really helps you create a more minimalistic lifestyle and helps you to focus on the world around you and the experiences and the people you're connecting with rather than the things that you're taking with you, since you're not taking very much with you at all.
And since you do have to be forced into minimalism and you have less items, you really appreciate the few items that you do have instead of having, you know, this wide variety of shirts and shoes and all these different things where you might wear things once every couple months. Like you kind of go through the few items that you do have frequently and you really appreciate them more. One other byproduct that's a huge benefit is that we find ourselves always buying local with small businesses, supporting local communities. This is like an invaluable byproduct or an invaluable trait of van life, because when you can't go to like Walmart or Costco and buy these big things in bulk, you really can only fit, you know, small amounts of food at one time or small items. So we find ourselves going to farmers markets and local stores, basically, you know, anywhere where we can find something that's been made or grown or produced in a small community. It always tastes better. It's not always cheaper, but it's always a high quality product. And we love to support local communities by doing that.
It is just nice to know where your food is coming from and be able to support those farmers that put their whole life into creating that food source for you. Trent and I come from very different upbringings. I was more of the East Coast, his was more of the West Coast mentality, and living in such a small, tight-knit space together has really helped us, I think, see the world through each other's perspectives. So whether you are considering van life, already doing it, have never heard of it until right now, we love it, and we feel that our lives have been greatly improved by the lifestyle and the opportunities that come with it. Hopefully this video was meaningful and helpful for you. We definitely recommend this lifestyle for even just a little bit, for a portion of your life, even if it's a weekend adventure. It's a really eye-opening experience.
So get out there and get after it. We want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments for us. Be sure to like the video because it really helps us out, especially if you liked the video in reality. Subscribe if you're not already.
And we'll see you soon.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you.
And it's helped us kind of mesh into this I don't know. It's really helped us mesh and evolve into what we think is a very compromising situation where we kind of take what we each love about our upbringing and what we don't like, and we just kind of make, you know, beef stew with it. At the end of the day, we're gonna take what we like about each other's upbringings and kind of mold it into one, and that's what makes us happy. And living in van life really helps us to be intentional with our time, with each other, with people, with the shit. So whether you're living van life, you're considering it, or so whether you live